Are you ready?
Starting now?
Oh, now you just messed it up, you knob. God, you know that the shit that we go through for this, huh?
I know. Fuckers better appreciate it. When we started, we were just like, yeah, we're just going to do this, man. You know, shoot our wad into the wind and see what happens. What's the title of this podcast again?
I don't know. I don't know. Something with a penis, I guess.
Right.
Our fucking faces are everywhere now.
Right.
You know, but
You're welcome, ladies.
Right. Popular with the ladies. Right. Oh, I'm not even going to apologize because hopefully it sounds fucking hilarious.
Yeah, totally. This is fucking explicit now.
The explicit button. Let me use my finger.
La, 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 la.
It is time for another episode of Sober, Not Mature. And that episode starts now. All right, everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of Sober, Not Mature. And tonight we have a lady.
Hello, lady.
Hello, lady.
Lady, that's a good one.
I'm trying to start off nice, okay?
Thank
Give me
you.
a little bit of a break.
I appreciate it.
Well, yeah, if everyone's been paying attention, hopefully on Instagram, you know that we've got Melissa on, one of our friends from Cleveland. I'll let her go ahead and introduce herself real quick, and then we can get started. Go ahead.
All right. I am Melissa from Cleveland. No, I'm joking. I'm Melissa, and I am an alcoholic.
All right.
Do I do all of my intro?
No, you don't have to right now.
Oh,
Whatever.
Yeah, really. I mean, you're kind of like running the show here, but just
Don't.
real quick, yeah, don't tell you
Don't
that.
let me run anything.
Yeah, well, that was actually kind of funny. So two things. First of all, what did she say to you, Mike? That we had to tell her what to do, which was that amazed me. Yeah.
Yes, she cornered me at the Keating Center fundraiser, and she said, "You just need to tell me when to do it because I can't make a decision."
I don't. Listen, I listen and do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was told, and
Exactly.
my whole life is that. Like I don't tell me like, oh, when do you want to lead? Never.
Right.
I never want to do this. And I'll find every reason in the book to put it off. So no, you just tell me what you need and I will be there.
Nice.
Well,
So here I am.
And that's good. I mean, we had a few other people that we had scheduled for this month, but I knew we had a couple of dates open, so that's why, obviously we gave you the opportunity of, what was it, this week or next week, I think you chose from. No, this week or the 28th. But yeah, I mean, that was one of the things we wanted to, we're trying to get more people on. We've had Megan, Tony, and now you. We want to have Michael on, and basically, whoever we can, just because, well, clearly, I mean, obviously Mike's still there, but I mean, that's where we, both he and I got our start, and, just good group of people, which we all know. So just be more fun to get more people on. So
Absolutely.
So thank you. Obviously, thank you. And I apologize. Well, you know this, Mike. Kathy tested positive for COVID on Sunday, I think.
Yeah, it's Monday, I think. No,
Yeah, well, yeah,
yeah, right, yeah. It was Monday.
Yeah, well, she started to have just a little bit of sinus symptoms and stuff on Sunday, so she's figuring that's kind of when it started, which is why she let everyone know, obviously. And then there was a second test, and I was going to test, and I'm like, well, it doesn't even fucking matter. I'm not going anywhere, And
Right.
And seriously, Caleb went off with Kylie back to school, and the two of them have been out of the house all week, and I'm like, it really doesn't fucking matter, So
yeah,
I didn't
if you're not
test.
going anywhere, oh wow.
Right. And I had just gotten over a sinus infection, and the pollen level's been high. Who knows? Maybe I have a bit of that. It could be allergies, whatever it is. But it's affecting my voice a little bit.
Here's a funny thing, though. I have not had COVID in, 2.5 years, 3 years, however long this has been going on. And 3 weeks ago, I got it because I had a sinus thing going on. And the only reason I tested myself, because I was supposed to have a surgery, and I got scared that if I, have a cold and I have to get put under, that I'm going to die or something. So I'm Googling it, and they're like, okay, just test yourself. And if it's positive, then, we'll reschedule. I was freaking positive. I've beat COVID this, nothing. Going to get my tubes tied, and God took that away from me, apparently. Thanks, God.
Yeah,
Thanks,
really.
God.
We'll just tell Danny to stay the fuck off you for a little while until you.
I do.
Right?
Believe me.
Oh, Danny's her husband, by the way. Danny's her
Yes.
husband. So, but
Yes.
Kathy, the same thing. Kathy never got it. I actually got it a year ago, Thanksgiving. So, and it wasn't bad. I mean, I actually felt worse this time, but I think again it's coming out of the sinus infection and whatever. But like I said, it is what it is. I didn't. Only place I went up to Walgreens to get Kathy some medicine on, I don't know, Wednesday or something like that, and I didn't really think much of it. I actually had my moist as fuck shirt on when I went to Walgreens. I didn't think about it until I got back, but this big fucking moist AF on my shirt.
Oh, Jesus. Fantastic.
I know, it was great, but I didn't give a fuck after all said and done. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of funny. I hope people were, people look around anyhow. I don't really pay much attention, but I'm hoping somebody noticed it. But so real quick, Mike, I get like 3 things from kind of like on a podcast thing I want to talk about. Melissa, you get to be part of. This is what Mike and I do. It's not that we never talk, but we try not to bother each other during the week with stuff. So we just talk when we're on here.
Get it all out of the way here, huh?
Yeah, we just bother each other once a week, and it works out quite nicely.
Right. If this,
That's why you're
Melissa,
still friends.
Yeah, Melissa, if this goes longer than 5 minutes, just yell and I'll stop. Okay.
Deal.
All right. So, first of all, Mike, I got a message from this company. It was kind of like an anchor type of company, like something radio or something FM.
All right.
Like, hey, do your own radio station. We've been listening to you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, send me some information. So they did in this long drawn out email about 100 minutes of contact and we'll pay you and this and that. And I'm like, okay, tell me more. But I said, also, I'd like to see whatever contract you have. Because you remember like that one place that wanted us to do writing, they wanted exclusive rights to our content, Right. So I'm like, send me a contract, at least a sample. It took 3 emails, and they finally sent me the contract. Mm-hmm. And I got to section 1.1, and it said, yes, we will have exclusive rights to any content or any content that you whatever, and we have the right to change it. We have the right to tell you to change it. You can post elsewhere, but you can't use any of what you talk. I'm like, I just email back. I'm like, no.
We have the right to tell you to fuck off.
Right.
But here's the thing.
They would have hid that. Like, stick that towards the end.
But here's the thing, and I understood there was going to be something like that, but and Mike and I have talked about this on several occasions, that we're more than willing to let people promote what we do, what we say, share our shit, all that stuff, appear on somebody's podcast, but we want the right to be able to grab any contact that we have, because it's literally what comes out of our mouths is ours, you know? And it's a different story. They were gonna, and no offense to them, they were offering $500 for 100 minutes of content and whatever. So between the two of us, I mean, it comes down to like $10 an hour, I think. Yeah,
right.
I don't have. Once again, like I said a couple of weeks ago, I don't have a price yet. I know I have one, but that's not it. That's not it. Now,
I'm pretty sure I made more than that newly sober. So
yeah, if somebody comes to us with 500,000, they can own us. I think it's fucking in the ass for all I care. I don't know. I'll give up. I'll give up some if I need to for that kind of money.
You'll sell Mike for 500,000.
I'll break out the new pads.
Yeah, exactly. I'll hold it for you. Fuck man, I don't care. Jesus. I'll reach around and hold it for you and take care of it. That's what our friends for.
Gently.
But anyhow, so I said no. But after I thought about it, because I think I know, and I don't try to shelter you from some of this stuff, but it's pointless to go back and forth with this with you, because I think I know that. I don't think either one of us is ready to give up the content or the control of it, until something big happens, if it ever does. So cool. Okay. And then, have you listened at all to the other guy, that Sober Friends podcast?
This week's been screwy. I haven't had a chance.
Okay. When you get a chance, probably.
Actually, that's a lie. I listened to the trailer. I popped it up on Spotify because I wanted to find it, and then I listened to the trailer.
Listen to the more recent episodes. I went to the most. I listened to the first 3.
Right.
Then I'm listening backwards from the latest backwards. He's got another guy on there that's, I think, about our time sober. Right. He's been sober. The guy that contacted us for 9 years. Mm-hmm. I talk a lot about AA. I would say that this is a podcast that does, quote unquote, speak our language. Cool. Just not as foul.
Right. Well,
takes away all the fun.
Hey.
And so if we appear on their podcast, I'll have to talk to him. His name's Matt, and the other guy's Steve. We'd probably have to tone down a little bit, but if they come on here, then we can allow them to run free. So
right, sounds cool. Yeah.
And then last thing, so I wanted to get your opinion on if you think this would be like a fronting sort of thing. I want to do a sale on the website, like a 13% off sale coming up on our anniversaries.
Right. Yeah,
but I wanted to start it like this weekend through like Saturday to Saturday or Sunday to Saturday. So do you think that's cool?
As
an anniversary sale? Okay.
Yeah, give a little fuckers
when are your
a treat.
guys' anniversaries?
Mine's Tuesday and Mike's is next Saturday.
What?
Yep.
You guys are going to have 13 years?
Yeah, no shit.
Isn't that fucking insane?
Yes, it is.
What did you think we
insane.
I know, isn't it? No, it's and we were talking about that. We talked about it on the last couple of podcasts, coming up to this, but we were talking about it last weekend too. That yeah, I mean, number one, I mean, time flies and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, just you look at it, I'm like, fuck me, man. I mean, it's a long time, I mean, we do the work and, we put in the effort and all those sort of things, but I tell you what, it's humbling, it's,
oh my God, right?
Yeah.
Fucking mind-blowing,
I sit back and go, I haven't had a fucking drink in 13, almost 13 years, week shy.
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
It fucking blows
crazy.
my mind.
Yeah.
So for me every year, I feel like it's more so the week like leading up to it, right? I remember like that disgusting feel of my last week, that those phone calls, right? The wrecked cars, the like, oh my God, like this is it. Like I was 33 when I got sober, but it was like, but that's what I focus on. Like, I'm grateful I got sober, but it's that week that gets me. And it's like, I don't cry a lot because I feel like I'm like kind of dead inside, but like I get a little bit leaky face on those. Like it's the week before, it's just like, oh my God, if I would have thought, and I only at 10 years, but like just that week leading up to it. Yeah. I'd even say that 2 weeks. That's what gets me, and then you wake up and it's like, damn, it's just another day. Right. It's an awesome day, but it is, it's the same thing we do every day.
Yeah. Another 24 hours.
And that's why Mike and I get together every year, again, with the exception of, as we say all the time, except for pandemic year. And specifically when we always did something the first 3 years because, I was out in Cleveland until that point. But when I moved, I mean, he and I specifically said, I think you might have said to me, like, you're coming back for the anniversaries, right? Or whatever it was. And I said, 2 things I'll come back for unless weird shit happens: our anniversary and Founders Day every year. We missed Founders Day 2 years in a row because of the pandemic, our anniversary once. Last year we missed Founders Day, but I was babysitting for my grandson. So that, that trumped it, but we try to make that it's that weekend that celebrates just again, I don't know, then it's not just another day. It's an opportunity for us to, celebrate it, but also just feel really fucking good,
Oh, right.
Yeah. Celebrate the fact that we're not causing chaos and hurting everybody around us. Yeah.
Oh my God. Not pieces of shit.
Thank you.
Exactly. So speaking of pieces of shit, Melissa, let's hear your story. And
nice segue.
Nice segue.
That was kind of perfect, actually.
So real quick, and it's up to you, but Mike always says, well, you can tell her, Mike, about how we usually prompt people on what to say. I mean, you're the same mindset we are, though, Melissa. But go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we know how to get fucked up. We know how to fuck up our lives. We know all about that stuff. Little qualification, that's cool, but don't want to spend an hour going, I remember this one time. Fuck that. Yeah. Right. We're interested in the solution because that's what's important today.
Unless it's one time at band camp that we want to hear that story.
Well, yeah.
That's the story we want to hear. Don't skip over that one.
Right.
That's a shit I don't remember, probably.
Exactly.
Damn it. Dear Penthouse.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead, Melissa. Sorry about that.
All right. Well, I am Melissa, and I'm an alcoholic. My sobriety date's 10/17/2012. I have a home group, which I suck at going to. And I love it. It's a Saturday morning meeting. But with the boys, like, there's always baseball or this or that. But I definitely try to make it as much as possible. I have a sponsor who has a sponsor, blah, blah, blah. I don't call her as much as I should, right? I kind of suck sometimes, but for me, like I have a higher power finally. I have a higher power of my understanding. I choose to call it God. Not like a Catholic God. Like for me, God is like good, orderly direction, right? Listen and do, right? Because I don't need any interference. I need to listen to someone tell me what to do, or I watch them, right? If I just like think I know what I'm doing, it's all wrong. So the God thing was like really big for me in the beginning because not that I hated God, but like I don't know, I was indifferent, right? And I grew up, my parents, I am the oldest of 3 or 4 girls. So I grew up in Avon, right? It's a big city now, but it was little back then. My family's awesome. You know what I mean? My parents are still together. Drinking was normal in our house, right? My parents had the parties every weekend. Bonfires out back, kids would play, we would have sleepovers, blah, 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 all that stuff. So drinking looked fun. I don't know. I started drinking when I was 13. Me and my sister would come home after school and we'd take shots of Tanqueray thinking we were cool down behind my parents' liquor cabinet. Tanqueray sucks, right? Like it's horrible. It would burn and we'd be like gagging and stuff. But like, and then I drank once with my cousin and it wasn't even drink. I took a shot, and I'm like, oh, I'm so cool. But then like 13, I remember, my first drink, I was tipping up 40s in a garage with a bunch of guys and girls, and I like outdrank everyone. And I was like so proud of it. Granted, I pissed my pants. I passed out. Like I have no idea what even happened, but I know I woke up and I was like, oh my God, that was the greatest thing ever. And it's not like it made me fit in or anything. I just loved it. I loved the effect. I even like the taste of beer. I love it. I don't know. Some people don't like it. I loved it. So like, I don't know. I was in sports. I got good grades. Well, decent grades, not like good, but decent. I fit in with everyone. I wasn't one of those people that like didn't fit in or this and that. I did. I was a cheerleader, but I got drunk on the bus with the football players. Everyone did it though. So like us growing up, it was normal to drink. It was normal to save our lunch money and go, plow down a cornfield and build a bonfire in the middle of it. And then when the cops raided it, we'd find another field. And it was just a weekend thing, I guess I did other substances during high school. Like, I don't know, I smoked weed and ate a bunch of acid and stuff. I love the Grateful Dead. So like, don't judge me. Okay. I love them. But like, I don't know. It was normal. It's not like no one else did it. Everyone did it. I didn't think there was not real consequences. I got an underage consumption when I was like 16. But other than that, like, I don't know. My dad had to take me to 4 AA meetings, and that's all I remember. My dad was pissed, right? That was it. Okay, so like fast forward, I graduate, all that good stuff, and I get a bartending job when I am 19 years old, and I bartended at the Hickory Inn in Avon. It was on the corner of Detroit Road and Nagel. This place was absolutely disgusting, right? Like I wouldn't even pee in this place, you guys. Like it was so bad, but I would do other substances in there. So that was how good my morals were then. But like this place, it was awesome. Like I had a baseball bat behind the bar. I could chase people out. Like everything about it. Like people would throw up and then take a shot of Rumpelmints and like just keep drinking. And I literally fell in love. The music, I don't even know, all of it. Like everything about that place I loved. So obviously with bartending come, all the other substances and I had moved out when I was 18, I think. And by this time I had an apartment out in Lakewood and pretty soon I was working as a paralegal downtown and bartending. I was only bartending Friday nights, right? But then pretty soon, I'm picking up more shifts and, the people I hung out with, right? Who I surrounded myself with, it was still normal. It was still normal to stay up all night, sleep all day. So like pretty soon I'm like, I don't know, 21 and celebrating my birthday at the bar I'm already working at and drinking at every day and celebrating my birthday. And it's normal, right? It's normal to eat a Flexerol to get to work in the morning and drive downtown Cleveland in rush hour traffic and then take naps under my desk and then hop on a bus to come home and then accuse people of stealing my car because my car was gone. I drove to work that morning. Like that shit happened all the time. Like it was not out of the realm for me to like lose my car. So, people start like, oh, this isn't normal, but it was because of the people I surrounded myself with. I start losing apartments. I'm dragging, busting in windows and dragging my stuff out before, people can change locks on me. And, 25, I wind up pregnant. And, it'd be fantastic to sit here and say that, mom of the year and I quit drinking, but I did not. I drank my entire pregnancy. I switched to wine because it looked classier sitting on a bar stool, 8 months pregnant, drinking wine rather than like a Bud Light. I did other substances my entire pregnancy. And thank God Jacob was born healthy. We both tested positive when I had him. And I don't know. I don't know why they gave me that kid to take home, but they did. And I took him home from the hospital with me. And by this time, I'm already a piece of shit, right? I already live with my parents. So CPS shows up or Children's Services and they show up and I have everything. My kid has food. My kid has a bed. He has this, but because my parents supplied it, I did nothing. They showed up twice and they left. They never came back, and I don't know. I got away with it, so nothing changed. I went right back to bartending. I went right back to staying up all night because I had a baby. Yeah, right. I'm doing all this stuff in my parents' bedroom while my kid is supposedly up. He's not. Then I'm sleeping all day with this infant, right? That's the kind of mom I am when I drink or use anything. I am a horrible mother. So my mom called Children's Services on me a couple of times. Nothing changed. I did what I wanted because I'm selfish. My parents were there, thank God, to take care of my child. But nothing bothered me. Nothing affected me. Anything they said to me, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. And then I was introduced to pain pills. So after I had Jacob, I did something to my back during labor or whatever. And they prescribed me pain pills. And that was a whole nother world, right? I had taken them before, but not like this. And that just opened up a whole nother gate, 2 years later, I'm pregnant again, and this time, I don't know I'm pregnant and I'm already 5 months pregnant. And I'm seeing all these commercials about rehabs and stuff. So I start making phone calls because I'm man, I don't want CPS down my throat. And I didn't get sober because I wanted to be sober. I got sober because I didn't want anyone to talk shit to me, right? I didn't want to hear anyone's mouths. And let me rephrase, I didn't get sober, but, go to rehab. So I call this place and they're like, well, you're pregnant. We can't detox you. So if you can detox at home by yourself, we'll take you on Monday. So that's what I did. And I thought I was going to Passages of Malibu or something. And I wind up in the Key in Lorraine on 6th and Reed. Right. And this place, it's it's like a trap house. Right. And, I go in there, I'm 6 months pregnant and I'm I have no desire. I had no desire to be sober, right? I just couldn't do the other things, right? I just couldn't take pain pills anymore. I just couldn't take pain pills because I'm pretty sure that's what it mainly was at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I do the program, I get a sponsor because she would pick me up and take me to meetings. I think my 4th step was a sheet of paper, right? It was really in depth. It was super, super long. And I just went through the motions, right? I heard everything everyone said. I didn't listen though. The steps, it was that big old thing that hangs on the wall. I went to all my meetings, I listened, but I knew I didn't have a desire. I didn't, not at all. It was just there to keep everyone happy. I get out and I don't even know if I stayed sober or not. I really don't remember. they wanted me to stay till I had the baby. And I was like, no, I can stay sober. I can't. I was appalled that they didn't think I was going to stay sober till I had her. Right. And I'm like literally appalled. And I'm like, but I was here like 89 days. Like I've got this, that's it. Not doing a damn thing. Right. Just sitting there bitching the whole time. And, I don't think I even managed to stay sober. I think I don't remember. But I had my daughter and right back to the same thing, like I don't think I even went back to bartending. I just went back to getting high, right? Yep. I just went back to like, hey, I have a baby. People are going to bring me free drugs. So I'm like, okay, cool. So now my parents are taking care of 2 kids, right? Because I'm at my mom's house because I've got 2 kids. So thank God they were there. And mind you, by this time, like Jacob was feeding himself because like he was 2 when my daughter was born and like I couldn't get out of bed. You know what I mean? Like I would like throw like a handful of cereal on the floor and I would lay in this like dark room with him and like watch Law and Order reruns, I feel like. And thank God my parents were home most of the time. But the days I actually had him, it was absolutely insane what I put that kid through. And I make up for that every day. Every day I make living amends to that kid.
Right.
So I have my daughter and, back to the same stuff. And I go out drinking with my kid's dad the one night. And actually I was just going out to dinner and have a couple drinks, but we know how that one goes. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I can't get too drunk because I have my doctor's appointment tomorrow. Right. So I come home. Hold on a second. Danny upstairs. He definitely doesn't need to hear this. Hold on a second.
That's
sorry.
Okay. It's a kid. It's a kid pause break.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's right. Yeah. It's one of your younger ones, right?
Yeah. He's 8.
Clearly. Yeah.
Yeah.
The 8-year-old probably doesn't need to hear that at this moment.
Oh, no.
So yeah, talk about unicorns and rainbows for a minute.
Yeah,
we walk back upstairs.
So unicorns came out of my butt, and that's how this all happened.
And I lived happily ever after.
And it just like it's just rainbows and sunshine, guys. Like this is how we got here, right?
Right.
So okay, he got him. I'm like texting, like get him. So I go out to dinner and had the doctor's appointment the next day, and I come home and it's like an early night, and by early I mean midnight, right? My daughter wakes up. I put her in bed with me, and we go back to sleep. And I wake up in the morning, and she had passed away. And like I don't remember a lot of it. I remember calling 911. I remember like everyone else around me like freaking out and stuff, and I remember like it was almost like just a daze, like holy shit, is this really happening? You know what I mean? Right. So like I remember they flighted her out to Metro, and I couldn't go in the helicopter because I had been drinking. I remember going to like the Avon Hospital and stuff, and then like them taking my blood alcohol and like all this stuff because I had been drinking the night before. And, we go out to Metro, and we ended up having to make the decision, and we had to pull the plug, like, I don't know, like 2:00 in the afternoon. And, I left Metro that day with the biggest excuse to drink. Right. Mm-hmm. So now I get to do what I want. Right. Because I lost my kid. I don't deserve my other kid. Like, who's going to tell me no? Like, who's going to tell me that I can't do what I want to do? And I used it, it's sad, but like, I literally used it as an excuse to do like, and just destroy people's lives. Like I just wreaked havoc everywhere I went. And, I ended up getting in a ton of trouble. I just ran, I gave Jacob to his dad and I ran. I did as much as possible of anything you would put in front of my face. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you have it, I'm doing it. And I did that for a couple years. And, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can give it, there's plenty of rehabs. There's tons of them. There was all the jails. I don't even know all the cities that I've been in. Quite a few. you know, and the whole time, like, I just don't care. Right? I don't care if I'm driving around drunk with my kid in my car. I don't care if I'm robbing you. I stole like from my grandma, for God's sakes. I'm pretty sure it was her birthday, or maybe it was my birthday because I thought I deserved money. So I like stole her credit card because I'm like, that's the kind of person I am. You know, I don't care. You know, I ended up with 9 felonies, right? All I had to do was stay sober. So I ended up getting charged with my daughter's death. And, because I couldn't stay sober. You know, I had an attorney and my parents put up their house and they charged me with child endangering. And when they did that, like, I went to jail and everything, and they're like, oh, you just have to, you know, just stay sober and prove that you're a good mom and this and that. I couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. Like, there's nothing in me that could actually do that. And, you know, I was in jail for something else, and they finally came to me and they're like, listen, you're either going to plead guilty, or you go in front of a jury and you're looking at like 3 to 5 years. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, and here I am like, oh, I'm just, you know, going to get away with everything. And I couldn't comprehend, like, it was my actions. You know, I didn't do anything. She ended up dying from SIDS. Mm-hmm. But because I put her in bed with me, that, like, if you do that and you're not drunk and your daughter or your kid dies from SIDS, you don't get charged for child endangering. Right. But when you do it and you're drinking, it's a charge. So I pled guilty and I went away for 2 years. And, you know, like, and it was almost like I thought everything was a joke. You know, I was also that person that, like, when I would get arrested, it was a break, right? Mm-hmm. I would be like relieved, you know, like sitting in the back, and I'm at back of the car, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I can finally lay it down for a little bit. Like, I don't have to run, because it's exhausting living that kind of life. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally exhausting. I think my kids are exhausting. I'm like, oh, that ain't nothing, right? So I go away for 2 years, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to stay sober. And I have a pen pal who's going to take me through my 4th step. And, you know, I wanted to want it. Right. And I did, I wanted it. But I didn't do the work again, you know? So then I get out and I'm at Harbor Lights, and, first chance I got, it was 19 months, you know, that I managed to put together in 19 months, but that's not doing it. I just stayed dry, you know, and, first chance I got, I'm in a Wiki Lizard bathroom using, you know, and then, you know, I went home, and the cycle just continues. Like you said, you guys know how it is. Like, there's I didn't give a shit. Right. I moved home for, like, I don't know, 2 weeks, and my mom was a mom to my kid. And I'm like, yep, I can't handle this. So then I moved in with a girl from Cleveland that was running, one of the sober houses out here, the Julie Adams house. And she's like, you can live here. You just have to stay sober. Oh, yeah, I'm sober. So I'd get drunk on the nights she was at work. Like, I wasn't even sober. Like, and I would go to meetings and stuff. But again, I wasn't listening. I wanted the friendships and like the fellowship, but I just didn't want to be sober still. That, like, literally, I got out August 13th and I was in rehab by October 16th. So like, when I go really hard and really fast, you know? So I managed to meet my parole officer with 2 DUIs and, a new case before I even went to treatment. So then I just kept messing up. I couldn't do it. Like, there's nothing in me that, and it was always just, oh, I want to be normal, right? I just wanted to be normal. I wanted to drink. I thought I could just drink normally, and I couldn't. Like,
great obsession.
Right. Like, and I don't even know, there was never a normal for me. Like, there was never like, oh, let's have a glass of wine with dinner. Like, no, right. We're getting shit-faced and dancing on a bar tonight. And that starts out as dinner. You know, 4 days later, I'm strolling home. And that's exactly it. That obsession. I could not get rid of it, right? I didn't know how to deal with it. You know, I didn't know there was another way. Even though I've been in and out of treatment, I never listened. I never paid attention. I thought it was like, I don't know, a joke, I guess. It was like giving me a break. Oh my God, now my dog's driving me nuts.
Not the first
swear
dog
to
on the
God.
podcast.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my God. Hercules.
the dogs so far here are
Listen
quiet.
to
So
him.
no, dogs are cool, man. You're fine. You're fine.
He's annoying. He wants out. That's what it is. I just keep texting Danny. Listen to him. I just keep texting Danny, get him. Someone get these goddamn dogs. And then the kid.
I was going to say, just get him. Could be a child, could be a dog. Do you have a cat?
Right. Either way, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah, just get him. Could be anything. So yeah.
I know. You'll hear something in the background. Jesus.
That's cool. It's cool.
Oh God, where was I? I blanked out.
No, you're fine. It sounds like you were to the point where you were about. I think you were probably almost about to get sober.
I'm sober. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Yep. So then,
Tell you what, it's a great tease. Let's take a quick break.
Look at you.
Yeah, I know. Let's take a quick break from a word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back with the solution.
Hey everyone, it's your friends at Sober Not Mature.
Hi there.
Yes, it's both of your friends this time. Hi Mike, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, Bill?
I am doing well, but we do have a purpose. We actually usually talk about our one website, but we actually have two websites now. So two websites in one. All right, so everyone knows we still have the podcast website that is www.SoberNotMature.com. And we just launched the store website, so we also have that. Do you know what the website address is on that one, Mike?
Of course I don't.
It's pretty easy, Mike. It's www.SoberNotMatureShop.com. But from the podcast website, you can still hit the store link and get into the web store, or you can access it from our Instagram page through the highlights. We've been posting quite a bit about it, and we'll continue to do that. But do you know what's on the second website, Mike?
Well, there's a store. There are products that you can purchase for you and your loved ones.
Well, Mike, do we still have merchandise?
We have merchandise. Well, we got T-shirts and coffee mugs and all kinds of crap.
And one of the coolest parts, we also do have all the recovery books from Hazelden, which is kind of a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Yeah, at least for us. So all the books that we read, God Grant Me, 24 Hours, the Big Book, the 12 and 12, all of those books are available for sale on our website. And again, that store website is www.sober.
Trying to help, man.
I know you are. You're not helping, though. Okay, now I got to say www.SoberNotMatureShop.com. .com. Visit that today, or visit the podcast website, which is, again, the podcast website. So
www.SoberNotMature.com.
Did you just say sober but not mature?
Yeah, sure. Write that down.
Yeah, like fucking mush mouth or something. All right, everyone. You've suffered enough with this, and we'll get back to what we were talking about previously. So visit the websites, though. All right, everyone, welcome back. And previously with Melissa, she was about to find the solution. We now join
my dog out, either one. Jesus.
We now join Hercules and Melissa.
Goddamn dog! I swear to God.
No, that's great. There's my sister. My sister has two Shih Tzus and a German Shepherd, and my niece. My niece has this cute ass little. He's part pit bull and whatever. He's like this miniature badass dog, little, but he's got this bark that'll it's crazy. And so the four of them were here last week, and it's been plenty of times when she's been home. So, and Bentley's the greatest dog on earth, but one barks, then the other barks, and then everyone goes.
Oh, they all go over it. Yeah.
And then my daughter and son-in-law, my grandson, were here for Easter with their two dogs. So we had six dogs here, not while we were recording, but we did.
Yeah.
We had six dogs in the
last
house.
Weekend. Yep.
Yeah, last weekend.
Great.
It's
Mike's like, yep, I was there.
It's what the thing of it is, each one of those dogs is beautiful. They're wonderful. They're great dogs, but it's just like anything else. It's like a domino effect. One barks, it's like,
oh yeah,
and they go
or a
fucking
leaf
nuts.
blows by. It doesn't even matter. Yeah. Hercules will hear the freaking UPS truck a mile away, and he'll start going ape shit. He hates those guys.
Yeah. But okay, so I'm sorry. Back to
Okay,
you finding
let
the
me get
solution.
sober real quick. Okay, so
come on, get it over with.
let me get it over with.
What time is it? What time is
What time is it? Jesus. Oh, here goes Hercules again. So, okay, so my kid's dad picks me up and is like, Melissa, you need sobriety, you need women, you need blah, 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 blah. And that's all I heard, right? Was that blah, 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 blah.
She just muted. I think she's yelling.
Sorry, I had to scream. Did you see me mute?
I
was screaming.
I heard the click, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I just told Mike. I'm like, she just muted. I think she's screaming.
Yeah, I had to because I'm screaming like a psycho. So then I'm like, there's no way. Like, I just got home. There's no way I need. Like, basically, he was telling me I needed removed from society. I didn't need that. Like, I could do this. No, I'm fine. Well, then, his roommate picks me up and the same thing, right? I remember we're sitting on Pearl and Brook Park, I think, was at Rallies, and we're sitting there eating ice cream, and he's like, listen, you need women, you need this, you need that, blah, 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 blah. And I heard it, right? I heard in a lead one time, this lady said that, like, God froze the lie long enough that I listened, and I did. I listened and and I heard, and I'm like, and again, I had nothing else to do. I crashed my car. I had no job. So, like, okay, cool. Let's go back to treatment. But I had no desire to do it, but I still heard it. And this is how my God works, right? My God, like, I need a loud God, right? I need a God that gives me COVID when I'm about to go get my tubal done. So, like, it stops me, right? So, like, I didn't make any calls, right? My kid's dad called, like, Tony, who runs the Lantern, and he called Katie, and then there we go, and 2 weeks later I have a bed at Jean Marie House. And I remember, like, packing, and I remember going, and my dad dropping me off, and I don't know, just that whole first day. I mean, obviously I wasn't sober. I got there on the 16th and my sobriety date's the 17th. But I still know, like, I remember getting there, and I think it was like a Thursday or a Friday, because I'm like, when am I going to meet this Katie lady, right? Like, where's this broad at? Like, and like, I didn't understand, because there was, like, no adults, kind of, right? It was like just a bunch of sober women living there, and I detoxed really bad there. I swear to God, I didn't sleep for 2 months. I was miserable. I was that angry drunk, right? I was that person, like, someone would try to wake me up for meditation and I'd throw a shoe at them. Like, get out of here. Like, no. And then I'd be fighting with Katie that I'm going to go back to college. I don't need these groups. Like, you get sober for like 4 minutes and you're like, oh, I'm going to go to college and change my life.
I'm educated now.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait, I'm living in a fucking rehab. Like, and listen, this is Jean Marie like 12 years ago or 10 years ago. We didn't have, like, I had to tear the shingles off that roof detoxing. Like, I remember I was there like a week, and Katie's like, get on the roof, we need this, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? Like, where the hell did these people take me, right? Like, the windows wouldn't shut all the way in the bathroom. So in the wintertime, I got there October. So, it started snowing. It would snow in the bathroom. It was so freaking cold. Like, I'm pretty sure the ceiling leaked on my face. But it was amazing, right? Because, like, I needed that humbling experience. I needed to fight over coffee in the morning. If my ass ain't up early enough, I'm not getting coffee.
Right.
I remember calling my mom, like, Mom, I need a coffee maker for my room. I need my CDs. I need a coffee maker in my room. I need this. I need this. And like, she looked at me because I was in the director's office, and she's like, oh, you're disgusting. Get out of my office. Like, you are such a piece of shit. And I don't know if she actually called me a piece of shit, but that's what I heard.
Right.
But thank God she did. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean? Right? Like, this woman's raising my child, right? Again, for like the 8th time. And I need a coffee maker. Like, that's the kind of person I am, right? And my CDs. Like, come on. But it took me forever. I didn't understand that. Like, I didn't understand that I was being selfish. I didn't know that wasn't normal, you know? You know, so I got a sponsor who I freaking love. And I've had to change sponsors since her. Just she doesn't go to meetings anymore. She's still sober. She just doesn't go to meetings. And if I see that, like, that's an excuse for me, right? So I'm like, oh, cool, we can do this and not go. I know I need to go to meetings, even though I don't go all the time. I still need them. Right. So like I found this lady and she was super tiny and like had this cute little pixie haircut and drove this orange little like Fiat car. And she swore way more than me. Like she said, fuck, like it was like going out of style. It was amazing. And like, there was just something she said in group one day. And, she was like talking about how she didn't like fist fight someone in a kitchen at a restaurant because they were like saying stuff. And I'm like, that is what I want. I need to learn how to do that. So that's why I picked my sponsor, you know, and she was so like loving and mean at the same time. You know what I mean? Like she would hug me and then basically tell me I was a piece of shit at the same time. Yep. And it was amazing. Like, that's like literally what I needed. And she like took her time with the steps, right? Like it took me a year to get through my steps. Like I didn't go fast. Like my 4th step was 2 notebooks, right? We sat in Walgreens parking lot doing my 5th, eating freaking crackers in her little orange car for 4 hours, right? Like doing this 5th step with her. And like, she was amazing. She dumbed it down, like the steps for me so I could cover, because I swear I was kind of retarded when I got here. Like I couldn't hear stuff. You know what I mean? Like I could hear you, but I couldn't listen. I couldn't comprehend. I didn't understand like what you were saying. You know, so like my sponsor would like dumb it down. She would break down that big book and she would take me to 1 meeting a week. Right. And if I wanted to do like big book or anything else, she would make me take a bus. She'd be like, if you want it bad enough, you'll meet me there. And I'm like, you're literally driving right by. Like, what you can't pick me up? She's like, you'll figure out a way. And I did. You know, I did figure that out. You know, it was, God, it was like 2 months before I like started lightening up. And you guys know Angel. So Angel was my roommate, right? And like me and Angel are exact opposites. Angel's like totally type B. I'm type A, right? So like I'm super aggressive and she's a freaking pushover. But like Angel taught me how to like love people, right? How to let them in, like how to not talk to people like they're assholes. Right. I made Angel cry a lot. And if you get Angel crying, you have to figure out how to not get Angel crying. Right. So like it like helped me. Like she taught me how to like be a person again. You know, and I ran with it. You know, I didn't listen. I've literally done nothing right in my sobriety except not pick up. And I know that. Right. Like Angel used to pick on me all the time. She's like, you just fucking do everything wrong and you still stay sober. Because I mean, I just don't pick up. Anything I do, I just don't pick up over it. Right. You know, I don't know. I stayed there 9 months. I got off parole early. You know, I ended up completing my parole in like a year because I stayed. You know, one of my not to do's when sober, I met my husband at Founders Day. Isn't that fantastic, right? And we you know, we're going to take things nice and slow and blah blah blah. And I'm pregnant like 2 months later, right?
Of course.
And he's living in a sober house. I'm living in a sober house, and I'm like, oh fuck, here we go, you know. And
there goes the mute
again. Hercules is back again. So like, do you hear him? He just wants on my back.
We hear him.
He wants attention.
It's just like the best. It's just the best part of the podcast so far.
I know. He just wants attention. Oh my God. So like, okay, go.
She's muted again, screaming.
Okay, I did. Yep. I did. Oh my God. I'm like, can someone not hear this? So then I wind up pregnant, and you know, I call the director, and I'm losing it because I'm like, oh my God, I don't even have my first kid. You know, my daughter's dead. Like, I don't deserve to have another kid. You know, and she just was like, listen, this is your second chance,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I was like, oh, okay. All right. I guess I could do this. You know, and it was hard, you know, I get now why they say no relationships in the first year, because it just makes sobriety hard. It really does. Like I moved out with a boy, right? And I'm like, oh God, I've been in and out of treatment, living with women for like 6 years, right? Or under the influence. So like now I have to live with a boy. I don't even know if I like him. I'm just pregnant, you know. And like I know, right? And it, you know what? It worked out. You know, thank God, you know, because like, and from day one, everything's separate. He has his meetings. He was at like what Stella Men's you guys had for freaking years, you know, and then I think that closed down during COVID, but like he has his meetings. I have mine. He has his night. I had Berea Wednesday was my home group for like 6-7 years. You know, and you know, I just ran with it. I picked up the same girls. I did group at Jean Marie. I think I was doing group at like Julie Adams. You know, I just stayed super involved because I was scared. I was so scared I was going to use again. It wasn't even funny because I don't trust myself. Like I can do all these steps in the world, but it's still me. Right. And I still like, I don't know, you know, left to my own devices. I do remember like one time, like Katie said this, I said, I do remember one time at band camp. No, I got in trouble for like sneaking out or something. I got caught in a hotel. Right? Probably where the baby came from. But like,
wait, what are your kids' names again?
Like,
Motel 6?
Motel 6, or what's that one in Lakewood? Is that Motel 6?
It is a Motel 6.
Yeah. Oh my God!
That's the reason I thought, because that's where everyone when all the guys disappeared. If we knew
that's where they were at.
Yeah, they were going to use or pick up some fucking whore and go to the hotel for the weekend and drink and use.
No, man. Hey.
No. I said when the guys were going to do that, not you. They were picking up.
But I was there, so I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
But there with one of the guys.
Yeah, but these guys cover their belt. These guys were 2 years before you got sober, so 3 years.
Yeah, that's true.
It was different whores. You weren't even
it wasn't even
different man whores.
Different. Yeah, that's right. Different man whores.
Different ones, right?
But no, seriously, there was a bunch of guys that actually used to go up there and they just camp out and use up there. I mean, that was that.
Oh yeah,
at that hotel right up on.
Oh my God, it was so bad. On Clifton,
yeah,
right?
there you go. Yeah. Right down from the meeting.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Yep, that's it.
That's it. Know that one. So anyways, I got caught there, right? And she's like, your sobriety is between you and God. And I was like, oh, that was a good one, right?
Right.
And, ever since then, you know, there's been plenty of opportunities. I mean, it just, and that rings through my head. It's me and God, right? You're going to come to a time where you're like, I don't know, by yourself. And like, I used to have like these random, like, I don't know. I feel like anyone that says they don't ever think about getting high or drinking, they're lying.
We talk about that I do all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I do. Like, I just don't do it. Like, there's been plenty of times I'm like, damn, this would be way cooler if I was like drunk, you know? Like, but then it's like, we get to play the tape through, you know, we get to like, I don't know, just do something different. But yeah, I don't know. I stayed sober and I did a lot, you know, and I ran and I had our baby and, you know, we ended up getting married and, I just keep doing the same thing. You know, I make my bed every freaking day. I try to stay involved with the houses, you know, I don't know. I worked at Road to Hope for a couple of years and I'm not cut out for like working in recovery. I don't know. I love it. I love sponsoring, but I don't want to like be the person to enforce the rules. I'm not good with rules. Right.
Right.
So it was different, you know, and, you know, things have changed. I have 3 kids. I have Jacob back. I waited 2 years to get Jacob back, you know, and I just keep doing it. You know, I just keep moving my feet. I show up when I'm asked. I lead meetings when I'm asked. I do suck at going to my home group. I know I do suck at that. But like, I work with another alcoholic, right? Like, I'll probably miss my home group in the morning, but then I have a fifth step in the afternoon. I have baseball, and then I'm doing there's a Jack Mulhall benefit tomorrow night for that Jack Mulhall Center. So I'm going to that.
Right.
Like, so I just work with other alcoholics, you know? Not that that's an excuse, but it is.
But it's part of that. That's one of the
Yes.
reasons that, and I don't know how much you've listened to our podcast, and we've been doing it now for a little over a year. It was a year at the end of February. So what, year and a few months now almost. And we started it just so Mike and I could get together and shoot the shit. I was listening to other podcasts. I was talking to him at Thanksgiving the year before, and I'm just like, we can do that. We can talk shit into a fucking microphone. So
oh my God, right?
We didn't know what to do or how to do it, so we looked all of it up and just started doing it. You know, and then
cool.
You know, so then people started listening, and we started having more stories, and then we started getting feedback, and but this is a huge part. And we talk about that all the time. This is a huge part about, what we do as part of our recovery now, and just Mike, you were at Cinema Wasteland, 2 weeks ago, and he's got people coming up to him, these random people telling him that they listen to us,
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Right. And, and clearly at the fundraiser, at the Keating Center one, there was a bunch of people saying, yeah, man, we listened to it. It's cool. It's like, wow, cool. All right.
I share the hell out of it. I think it's super cool.
Nice.
Yeah, but literally
your guys' first ones, I listened to like the first couple, and I'm like, from then till now, because I think I listened to like Megan's or Tony's or something, and I'm like, oh my God, it's changed so much. I love it.
Well,
you're evolving.
The biggest thing is like halfway through, and this is episode 60. Yeah, this is episode 60. So it was episode 22 or 23 when we switched to this recording software, and that made all the difference in the world, because the place we were using, which is still where we distribute it, is called Anchor, but now it's a thing through Spotify, which is great, but it's like almost like recording through cell phones, so the audio is shit. And that made the big difference. So this literally makes it sound like we could all be sitting in the same room, as long as everyone's got, like a good connection and a wired in microphone and all that stuff. That's where the difference was made. You know, so like Mike says, it's still us talking the same fucking garbage, but it just sounds better.
It just sounds better.
But it's just so funny. I mean, there are so many things that you had talked about, and the most important thing that people that have listened to us from the start have heard Mike and I say forever, and I think almost every guest we have, but specifically between you, Megan, and Tony, saying that I still do the same things every day. I do the same things. I don't do everything perfectly, but I keep doing the same thing. Mike says all the time, we do the next right thing, So, and that's huge. I don't feel like my sobriety's been like super difficult or anything like that, but you said a thing that really stuck out at me. No matter what, I haven't picked up, and no matter what Mike hasn't picked up, and no matter what you haven't picked up, and none of us have had these glorious lives. We've had deaths, relationship problems, financial problems, all the shit that goes on life,
Yeah.
But you don't have to drink over it, man. And I'll tell you, sometimes it's never the thought that would make things easier for me. And you said that other thing too. We talked about flat out and said, people have to be lying. They are lying if they say they ever think about drinking. And what do you say, Mike, about doing it for so long that's impossible?
Right. Oh yeah. Right. My entire life for 4 decades was surrounding alcohol and drugs. These 13 years are wonderful. But yeah, of course, I smell a skunk, dead skunk on the side of the road. Oh my
God, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, oh, I like that. My kids are like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, it smells good. Shut up.
It does. Right.
I know. Like, it's random shit too. Like I was driving through, I was at a drive-through, right, to get a Pepsi or something, and they had like this botanical vodka. 1, I don't drink vodka. I drink tequila. And 2, I'm like, oh, that looks good. Right? Just a stupid ass thought. What? No, it doesn't. Drive, Melissa. Get your Pepsi and go. Or like, there was one I was driving through. There was an alley in Lakewood. And I had to turn around. And I was like, oh, this would be a perfect place to cop dope. What? Like, and I was like a year sober, maybe 2. So it freaked me out. Like, I called my sponsor panicking, and she's like, "Oh my God, it's a thought. Did you do it?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "Then shut up. All right, go to work. Don't turn down that alley anymore." I'm like, "Oh, okay. It's really that easy." I have never found myself in a room with heroin in the past 10 years.
Right.
Like, everyone's like, "I don't know how I relapsed." I just didn't. Like, don't go around people, places, and things, right?
Exactly.
Well,
like, that's it.
It was even for the longest time, but we talked about this. I didn't, and not that I thought that the booze bottles were going to open up and jump in my mouth, but I wouldn't walk down through a liquor section because I just it made me feel uneasy, not triggered because I don't believe in the word, but the thing which you said about the alley. So every single car that I've had. And I've had several now since I've been sober. The one I have now, I've had for 2 years. So as recent as 2 years ago, with every different car I get, at some point unconsciously, I think, where would I have hidden my bottle, my pint of?
Oh yeah, secret stash spots.
Yeah, and the cars that I had before, it's either I could fit it under the seat or in the console. You had this section that popped out. You could put it underneath there. And there was like one car. I'm like, I wouldn't have been able to hide any fucking booze in here. I'm like, I don't power.
I'd have trade this thing in.
Yes, fucking power. I think it was my Avalon. So I had this power seat that there you couldn't put anything under the seat. I think what it was, I was going to put my umbrella under the seat, and just have it out of the way. And I'm like, fuck, I can't. I'm like, oh shit, I wouldn't be able to put booze down there. Well,
shit. When I had the town car, man, the armrests and the door opened up. It was fucking beautiful. Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Right. Yeah. I was what, 8 years sober at that point?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him going, oh, fucking A, that's beautiful. Yeah. Of course. It's never going to go away. But again, I say it all the time. Yes, I still have all kinds of fucked up thoughts, but I don't act on them. I'm not
100%.
I mean, Dolly has the most beautiful thing. We're no longer emotionally driven. We're spiritually driven, which is just a beautiful way of saying fuck your feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank God no one felt like tiptoed around my feelings in the beginning, right? Like I'm not here to make you feel better. I'm here to save your life, right? Like my sponsees, they know 100%. Don't call me unless you want to cry.
Right.
Because I'm going to tell you about yourself. I'm going to tell you to suck it up. And I'm not I am harsh, but they know that. They pick me as a sponsor because they know that I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to hear. I'm not worried about your fucking feelings. I just want you to not die. Right?
Exactly.
I just want you alive. And if I have to tell you that, hey, you're being a douchebag, then that's what I'm going to say. But especially to Hercules here. Calm down.
Well,
well, remember the guys at Who Do You Know? We were like really early, first month or so sober, we'd walk in there and they go, so to fuck with us, they'd say, how you feeling? And we'd start running our mouths and they'd say, we don't care. What are you doing?
Right. Change it.
I forgot about that, but it's just, we actually thought that they wanted to hear. And the other thing, when you started off and you were talking about where's this broad Katie, I did that with Marty. I did that with Marty too. And you probably didn't hear this. Everyone on here's heard this and Mike's heard it 1,000 times, but so I get in on a Friday. He wasn't there on a Saturday. He's there on Sunday. We're cleaning. Somebody points him out to me. So the short story about this is my dad was involved with the Keating Center. My dad knew Phyllis. So there was this connection there. So of course I walk in, I'm the guy who everyone knows, right? So thinking that. So I walk up to Marty and I'm like, hey, I'm Bill from Wisconsin. And he's like, I know who you are. And he walks away. And I'm just like every time I tell the story, I'm like,
kidding me?
What I said to him, I'm like, damn, that was fucking rude, but that was the point.
Don't you know who I am?
Yeah, that's mine and Mike saying all the time. Doesn't he know who we think we are? But
God, who we think we are, right?
But that's what I was saying before. Like with so much of what you said, I had no desire. I thought I was all this. I mean, I was above all this different stuff, and fixing a roof, all the shit we have to do. We used to have to do around the Keating Center, and the Keating Center was not a dump, but that's the way I viewed it because
it was a dump.
Well, I mean,
it
was.
It got better. When I first walked in there, it was a goddamn dump. I was like, "Oh shit, what did I get myself into?"
I'm better off.
right
down the street.
but I mean the thing of it is they, that everyone was there, that they were caring, we were cared for, we had a place to stay.
Yes.
It wasn't perfect, but I felt that I was so above all this stuff. And once I opened my mind a little bit, which took a while, is the only reason I stayed sober, and I'm convinced of this, is because first of all, I had no place to go. And then I had thankfully I had good people and good guys around me, and I just followed the crowd. That's all that I did.
Oh God. Yeah.
For
Listen,
9 months.
Like I inserted myself into people's lives. Like if you don't have Angel, right? Her sponsor is Michelle. So or was, right?
Right.
I would it was Megan and Michelle and Leah, and that whole group was 2 years ahead of us. And they were sponsoring and they were doing groups, and that was the group, right? So I would tag along with Angel, and I would force myself in cars, and I forced myself into a support group, me and Michelle, man, we used to go at it because Michelle's got a big mouth, so do I, right?
Right.
So we would go at it, and I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are, right? And she's like she'd tell me about myself. Thank God, man. She's the one that taught me how to not lie, because I got caught lying so goddamn much and I'd have to apologize. She'd throw me out on blast all the time. And it's those things like that, those women that we had, thank God we had women that were oh, listen, put some clothes on, or this is not my sponsor literally smacked my phone out of my hand at a meeting one time. And I was oh shit. Okay. Meeting etiquette. It's huge for me. I was pregnant twice in the rooms. I don't pee before, if I don't pee before a meeting, I do not get up until we say the Our Father. Right. The meeting's not over until the Our Father. You don't get up and run out as soon as the lead's done. That's bullshit. That drives me insane. You need a cigarette that bad that you can't, that's so disruptive. And I was pregnant, right? Sitting there listening, and I'm oh God, I'm going to pee myself. But whatever. That's what my sponsor taught me. Don't be rude. You sit down, you wait. If you have to go that bad, believe me, there's a couple meetings that last longer than an hour, but I don't need to chug Monster during the whole damn meeting either.
Right.
Well, and it's fun now because all these people that you're talking about, and this core group of friends that we have now, we've kind of, we've taken on all these traits that we were taught. And what if you look around just a poker game, or one of the events that we were at, or anything like that?
Yeah.
The strength of the people that we have, and I'm super proud to call all these people our friends, because
oh my God, right?
And Mike and I talk about that all the time. Clearly, Mike and I have become the closest out of the entire group, but there's just from the guys there's Tony, there's Michael, there's the other Michael, there's Al. Just from these immediate guys right there, and then all you fucking women too. You guys are,
right.
You just add all you guys in there too, and I would not feel uncomfortable calling you or Megan or Michelle if I really had a problem and I couldn't get a hold of anyone else. Having
100%.
Or Angel or anyone, Molly, any of the people in our group. It's amazing, and
oh my God, listen to this. I had a dream about Molly last night. So me and Molly are best friends, right? And I haven't talked to her for a couple, it's probably been I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, which is a long time for us. But so she texts me today and she's like, hey bitch, I haven't seen you, or I haven't talked to you. And I'm like, oh my God. I had a dream that her and this other girl she hangs out with were getting high, living at her house, it was chaos. And I'm like, oh my God, I had a dream that you got high last night and you were living in this house with this other girl and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, I'm at Jean Marie talking to Michelle. I'm like, oh, thank God. Right? But I'm like, oh, but it's stupid stuff like that. Those girls are all still there, thank God. And me and Megan have gotten super close, hi, but, Megan was, I think she's a couple years ahead. A couple years ahead of me.
Right.
But through going to meetings and doing the Keating Center, the advisory board stuff we used to do.
Right.
What is that stuff? I think that's how I met you, Mike. I'm sure we've all seen each other working bingo. Jesus Christ, working bingo, I met half of you guys,
Right.
Got to get that $50 every week,
Well, yeah, in the Keating Center events, but I don't. When I think Melissa, when you and I actually
wait. You got paid for working bingo?
Yeah.
When?
Oh fuck, we didn't.
When you were at the house?
Yeah. When I was at the house, I lived at Cecilia, and I got paid $50 every night.
Yeah, but we didn't.
Yeah, you guys did live there.
We didn't work bingo when we worked it when we were still at the Keating Center halfway though.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't work it.
Oh, I wasn't halfway. I was there when I was 3/4. I would do like 3 nights a week, but I only did I did the kitchen stuff.
Right. Yeah, well, I did it a few times too, and I didn't get any goddamn money.
Yeah, Marty owes you some change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Marty doesn't owe me a goddamn thing. I owe him.
No, I know. That's why I said that jokingly. I love if you're going to be able to walk up to him and say, Marty, about this $50 a night. He'd be like, fuck off and walk away.
Right. I'm pretty sure they've paid their debts, right?
Right.
Exactly.
They paid our debts. How about that?
But I think because Melissa, I knew of you and who you were, and I think I've seen you at Founders Day, but I don't think you and I really even ever talked until when we got together a couple years ago when we did that Founders Day thing at Marty and Michelle's. I think that's probably the first time that you and I actually started talking and stuff but I knew who you were.
Right, because I feel like you moved away super quick after I got sober.
Well, that's why. I'm like, man,
because I feel like
bitch hanging around.
I know Mike was
here.
on the board right away. Mike was there when I got on the board and stuff, doing just all the fundraising stuff.
Right.
And you know what? Let's be honest, Mike, you're kind of hard to miss. So you just blend in very easily.
Yeah, I got nothing to hide today.
Well,
right.
Yeah, and I moved back to Wisconsin July of 2013, and there was a while there when I was trying to come back as much as possible for some of the, clam bakes and things like that, the Keating Center events. But I wasn't back for all of them.
I missed those ones. Those ones were fun.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, our group is that this whole group of people has just expanded over the years, and we talk about it all the time. The difference between, because I've been in nothing wrong with meetings in Wisconsin where I was, or Madison. I've been to meetings in Florida and Illinois and different areas like that. Nothing wrong with those meetings, but man, I don't go to a lot of meetings except when I'm back in Cleveland. Then I like hitting the meetings because I like the structure, I like the people. It's that's home for me.
It's
from a sobriety standpoint. It's completely home. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I could call Katie and be like, listen, I need a fucking break. I'm coming to sleep in one of the couches. Right? Literally. And she'd be like, yeah, come on.
Right.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's our home.
Right.
Thank God, they have places like that Jean Marie didn't save my life, but it introduced me to AA. Right. Mm-hmm. And I'm 100% Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't give a shit. If you want to do CA, NA, whatever, I don't care. You can do whatever. But for me, it was Alcoholics Anonymous.
Right. Well, I always say, I like my recovery I like my dope uncut.
Don't we all?
Yep.
Listen, and honestly, NA just makes it it's too graphic for me. I can't watch Intervention. I don't need to read Nikki Sixx's fucking heroin diaries. I lived them, right? Just probably not as glamorous, but it'll be Motel 6 heroin diaries, right? But I don't need that. I don't want to watch Intervention. I've seen plenty of the inside of closets for 4 days at a time. I'm cool. Right? I don't need to see people destroying their lives. I see that every day. That's 100% why I like going. I don't get to do group anymore as much, but when my girls, when I go and just start sponsoring a girl and you just have that, how they just come in and you're so fucking delusional, right? I love it. Because I'm like, oh God, I can't wait to sink my teeth in you, And and then when they go back out and then they come back again, they're like, you're right. No shit. I've been here long enough. That's the point. But I'm not going to say that to you.
Right.
I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna let you vent and I'm gonna let you figure this out on your own because that's how I had to do it.
Exactly.
I was told, I told Mike, you guys have to tell me what to do. Just tell me where to be. I don't want to make a decision on a fucking restaurant. Just tell me what to do.
Yep.
Right.
Well,
listen and do. And that's what's kept me sober, you know?
Well, and when we first, well, I'll say when I came in, because this was my mentality. Because again, I didn't want to be here and all this different stuff. And like I said before,
Mhm.
with just kind of following the crowd. I mean, they said get a sponsor. I found my sponsor. I'm like, I'm just temporary, saying, oh, I'm not going to be here long. And I was there for fucking 3.5 years in Cleveland. I didn't know what meetings to go to, so I just, again, hopped in the car with somebody. I didn't know what I liked or didn't like, but there was a couple of things I went to because it's like, well, my dad went here because this is where he got sober or something like that. But I really didn't. I didn't have any fucking plan. I didn't know what I was gonna fucking do, But and seriously, without all these guys that were these badass motherfuckers when we first came in, Mike included. I'm like, these guys, they're not only not going to be friends with me, these guys are going to want to fucking kill me, but everyone around me, everyone just helped. Everyone's there to help you. Nobody's there to hurt you. They're like, come here, I'll show you what to do and I'll show you where to go. But nobody really had to say, come this way. You just followed people, But that's the fucking point. We've got a roadmap that's already put in front of us. All we have to do is follow the fucking thing.
It's so hard to do sometimes, though, isn't it?
I agree.
To catch on to that point.
But
we were in the beginning, you're like, wait, let me find a different way.
Well, and we were talking about our 4-step, at the beginning of the month. And I sat down with my sponsor. And I'm like, what do I do? And he's like, read the book. I'm like, no, what do I do? Read the book. And that it fucking made me mad because I'm the same way. I wanted somebody to say, okay, I know I have to do this, but show me, and I wrote down when you said not understanding and dumbing things down. I didn't really understand, that some of the stuff I was reading. And then there was things that just became clear to me, like 2 years ago, or we're doing a reading or something like that. Or I was 3 years sober and I'm like, wait a second, that says what?
That's what that means.
I had no fucking idea. There have been, how many times, Mike, it's probably been me. I'll just say me. I've had these revelations on this podcast in the last year and a couple of months. And that's so between 12 and 13 years sober. I'm like, wait, what? That, huh. I'm like, wow.
Thank God, though, right? Like, thank God we can remain teachable.
Oh,
like, that is one thing I pray for constantly. Like, I swear to God, I hope I never think I know it all.
No,
right? I don't ever want to be the smartest person in a fucking room. I'll tell you that much.
Right.
Nope.
Like, I've stopped going to meetings because I have the most sobriety. I don't want that. I don't want to be the one that everyone looks at like, hey, you have most time. You know what you're doing. No, the fuck I don't.
Right.
I need someone to tell me, like, hey, you're 10 years sober. Get up there and shake hands. Like, who do you think you are? Right. Like, and I need that. That's why I like the Berea Wednesday women's. And like this meeting I go to on Saturdays, it's all most of the ladies there, like it's a women's meeting, no kids. I fucking love that. I used to hate that. Newly sober. I'm like, oh my God, it's a women's meeting. You got to let kids in and blah, blah, blah. No, these women at Berea, they've been sober like 98 years, right? And they don't let kids in our meeting. There's a reason for that. I get that now. I need a fucking break for my kids. I get that.
Right.
But like, we want to argue everything when we're newly sober. Like, we got a better way, but that's what I like. I like this meeting where, like, I swear to God, I led there. And this lady, like, she stood up and kind of told me about myself in her comments, and it wasn't rude or anything, but she was like, man, you're going to die if you don't start going to meetings. And I was like, fuck, this is my home group. Like, all right, I like you guys, and that's what I need. I need people that are have enough balls to say something, right? And that's why I have the friends I do, because they will.
Right.
Oh, Molly's called me out. Megan's called me out. Thank God these people, like Michelle in the beginning, even though I didn't want to hear it.
Of course not.
Stop fucking lying.
Right. Yeah. Well, it all comes down to the second part of the first step. Our lives are unmanageable. Guess what? My life is still fucking unmanageable. I try to manage my life. I'm going to fuck it up. I need these principles. I need I need these people. I need all this stuff to manage my life. And if I allow that to happen, then my life works somehow. But I try to fucking do it. I'm screwed.
Do you hear Mike trying to outtalk? Mike's trying to outtalk Hercules, just so you know.
I am.
I know. I'm trying. Hold on. I'm going to scream again.
And now Melissa screams.
And now we'll take a pause.
Sorry. I'm like texting. It's not working.
Right.
Like, you're always on your phone.
No, it was
Want me
just,
to text him?
Just talk really loud.
It was just
maybe you won't hear him in the background.
No, it was just funny because it's Mike and I. And the reason we test the volumes is we can adjust the volume control, and Mike's volume will peak out sometimes, and it usually only does it sometimes when we have a guest that he has to like interrupt or do something like that. But with this, I can hear his voice get louder, and it's fine because it's the other thing too.
Listen,
this
just like blend them out or something.
Right. Well, no, it's not a big deal. I was just kind of fucking around. I just heard it on his end. It was just cracking me up. But and that's the one thing with and I've said this I don't know 1,000 times, but Mike and I. Well, first of all, we've never been in a fight, never had an argument, which is cool. But the other thing too is that he's called me out or told me the way things go. I'm not afraid to say something to him because we respect each other and we know well enough that that goes pretty much, I think, for our whole group is that nobody's going to say anything to you. It might sting to begin with, but they're not there to hurt you. They're saying this to help you, And if there's that little,
it's only because it's true.
Well, yeah, it's true, number one, but it's there to help you, So yeah, all that stuff. It's and again, these group of people in these meetings. Oh, that when you were talking before about being the person with the most sobriety, I love it when like one of the reasons I enjoyed group, like you said, when these people are new and they're raw, and you'll see some people that you can see the ones that don't give a shit, and you can see the ones that are kind of like a little bit of spark in their eye, and then those are the ones that you're like, okay, cool, man, there's something's getting through. But I've noticed that, and not always, but if you get somebody that's serious about sobriety and they're between 1 to 3 years sober, those are the people that a lot of times I think I can learn from because they're they're so active, they're so into it.
Oh my God!
Life has
7 meetings a week. Like they don't do anything but pick up new people, and they just get to go have like their Netflix bill, and that's it. And they're driving a piece of shit car and no bills, and it's amazing, right?
And life has yet
so
to
jealous.
kick them straight in the balls, and
right in the face,
right in the ovaries,
right in those goddamn ovaries. I know,
but yeah, because it just to see that I don't know, that excitement, that enthusiasm, it does. It reminds me of what I should feel, and it humbles me, and 9 times out of 10 makes me realize that, I should probably do a little bit more. I never do enough. I've never done enough from the start. I can never do enough.
I don't think we ever can.
Right. Well, that's the whole point, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's
but
good.
We also can't beat ourselves up over it,
Right.
Oh, no.
Right. It's like, well, I mean, it reminds me of the Bill Wilson when he went to his wife Lois, and he said, none of these fuckers are staying sober.
Right.
And she just looked at him and said, yeah, but you're still sober. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, I'm not doing, I fall short every fucking day, but I'm still sober.
Right.
We have a daily reprieve. Thank God.
Exactly.
Right? Thank God. What is that? Your spirit or your sobriety? Contingent on your spiritual sobriety or something?
No. Hang on, Melissa.
Hang on.
No. Because this is my favorite quote in the Big Book.
Oh, here we go.
There is no cure for alcoholism. All we get is a daily reprieve contingent upon the maintenance of our spiritual condition.
There it is, maintenance.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's been a popular line on here since the start because
because it also bugs the shit out of me that half the time when people quote that out of the Big Book they leave the word maintenance out.
Right,
it's the most important fucking word.
For sure, it really is. Right, like you have to maintain it, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I got to keep working these fucking muscles that I never knew I had.
Right.
Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm. Listen to you. Jesus, right? So, are you going to be? So, I'm going to be out in Cleveland next weekend. Do we know what we're doing yet, Mike? Are we doing something on?
I have no goddamn
Wait, what
clue.
weekend is it?
Next weekend, goofball.
Hold on. What's the date?
The date is the
21st.
Yeah, I'll be out on Friday, the 21st,
23rd.
I was going to say, my kid's having his birthday party. You guys can come hang out with like a bunch of fucking 9-year-olds. There's going to be like 35 kids. I'm already like, oh, fuck, what's wrong with me?
We're 13-year-olds, so no.
What day?
No. Yeah, no 13-year-olds.
How old are their moms, though, and are they single?
I don't know, maybe.
All of a sudden, Melissa's like, oh, wait, I never thought about that.
Wait, maybe.
No, I said that because that goes back to the story. Mike tried to wrap me into doing, what was it, fucking baskets or something like that for Yeah, for a Keating Center.
One of the fundraisers, right?
Mike told Megan, he's like, "Oh yeah,
I volunteered.
Yeah, volunteered me to get up at whatever time and go do baskets." And Megan's like, "Oh, you're coming to do baskets in the morning?" No, but then I started to ask her. I'm like, "Wait a second,
you went and did baskets, didn't you?"
No, because the joke was, I'm like, so are there single chicks? Are they hot? And I said, as long as that's when the whole crazy scale started too, because I'm trying to find out. I'm like they can't be too crazy either. I said I can handle a 6 or a 7,
just a little bit crazy.
Oh yeah, a little bit,
just enough.
Yeah, just enough. That 6-7 range. It gets above that,
right?
Listen, I don't think you get out of the 6-7 range until like. You got to be at least like 2 years, 3 years, probably.
Right. Well, see, I
still have my moments.
Well, my new rating is somebody. Are they a 1 between a 1 and restraining order? And that's
that's a good one.
What about 1 to bunny birder?
Am I going to go to jail for you?
Right. Not today.
Not today,
nope.
right?
But no, yeah. So like I said, we always get together for our anniversaries. I always wait until obviously Mike's is on Saturday. So you usually wait till the weekend of or the weekend, after his anniversary to make sure all said and done. But I don't know. I have no idea what we're doing. We were talking about maybe.
Well, you guys are doing something.
Well, we're doing a podcast Saturday morning,
11 a.m.
Okay.
And I thought we were doing Stella Men's Saturday night.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So yeah, the meeting.
Stella Men's is Saturday now.
It used to be.
I thought Stella's was on Monday night.
Well, there was.
I think that's. Yeah.
Oh, that's a different one. Got it.
Yeah, because that was what I was going to say is that was our plan, because then we get to announce, and also they give out coins and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
We show up at a meeting at least once a year.
Right.
I'm here for my coin.
Yeah.
I show up once a week.
I know you do. I know. I'm the one that. Well, and the thing of it is, nobody necessarily. I wouldn't be shy about telling. I'm not going to fucking lie and be like, oh yeah, I go to meetings every week. I'm just out here.
No,
and I don't.
Right.
But it has nothing to do with anything, with the exception of that. Just it is what it is, and I do this thing and I do other things. But Cleveland meetings, man, we always try to hit at least one meeting when I'm out there, and it's important, and I like it. I enjoy the Cleveland meetings and everyone out there. So, but either way.
And it's cool because I feel like it doesn't matter like what meeting you walk into. Like I'll walk into a meeting, Danny's friends, man. Danny, like I swear to God, they ask him to lead. I'm the next week every fucking time. Right? And I'm like, it's like we're tag teaming, right? Like, come on. But like I'll walk into a meeting like that I've never been to, and I'm like, oh God, okay, I know them all. Right. You just know people.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter. Like we all ran in. I mean, we ran in the same group, but like I went to women's meetings, right? Mm-hmm. I hate mixed meetings. I still hate mixed meetings. I literally still feel uncomfortable at mixed meetings. But that's just me personally, because I was raised with women. Right. Like women stick with women. Now, I mean, like, yeah, hell yeah, we're all friends and stuff. Like, but it's still weird going to a meeting with guys at it, I think.
Yeah, well, the guys,
that's just me.
Guys are still pigs, so it doesn't.
Oh fuck yeah!
It doesn't fucking matter. We're all still fucking pigs. We just learn to control ourselves a little bit better as we get older. Maybe
attempt to.
I said try. Try.
Yeah.
But Founders Day. Are you going to Founders Day?
I hope so. Listen, me and Danny, and Angel and Tony, because it's Angel's birthday usually that weekend.
Cool. Right.
And then like it's our anniversary.
Oh yeah.
And me and Angel are like, we got sober 2 weeks apart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost done. Go. I have my kid's headphones, so he's freaking out.
Oh, right.
Yeah. He's got to get on his Switch. He's like, you almost done? Get out of here. So, like, we just haven't gone the list. I want to say because of COVID. Right. Well, we did that thing at Michelle's house,
2 years ago. Right.
That was COVID. Was that COVID year?
Yeah,
21.
Or the year before that?
It was 2021.
Oh, it was the year after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, and I feel like we didn't go last year.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't because I think it was shut down for 2 years. I don't think they had it.
Yeah, I feel like there was something like, or maybe it was online or something.
Yeah, they did a virtual. Shit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but normally we go. And I love it. It's just one of those things. Like, I mean, it's just that when you stand up and you have that many people in that stadium and they're all saying they are Father together, like
10,000 drunks doing a meeting. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
I just get goosebumps every time. Or you see that person with like 4 days or like 4 hours sober,
Right.
and you know they're like shaking on the inside, and you're like, oh God, I just want to squeeze the shit out of you. Right?
Yeah. Well,
because you know they're just shaking. Their whole insides are shaking, and they want to throw up, but they're there.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're
That's
planning on
awesome.
going, and my sister and I are coming out, and obviously Mike is going.
Oh,
So yeah,
nice.
we'll be at Founders Day.
Yep.
But so yeah, either way, I mean, I'll be around this weekend if we can figure something out. If not a big deal. But
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, seriously, thank you for coming on here, and don't worry, don't tell Dan. We're not going to have Danny on here. We won't tag team you guys with that. So
Oh, he's fantastic. He's all mad. He's like, why would they ask me? I'm like, I don't know, because I'm cooler. That's why.
Right.
Oh, see, I was
Tell him we'll get to him.
I know, I do.
no. You know what you should tell them is say, fuck, man, you don't want to listen to this. We talked about you, and they don't want to have you on. Just make them all fucking paranoid because
listen, I literally had to download like how so he could listen, right? Because he's like, I don't know how the fuck to listen to a podcast. I listen to it's on Apple Music for God's sakes. You already have it.
Right.
You just have to go one button over.
Right. Well, and we're on.
So I downloaded it and showed him, and
we're on all this Spotify and Apple and Google and all those ones. But but the thing of it is,
iHeartRadio,
all that
good stuff.
iTunes. Oh, well, obviously, the TuneIn app. But yeah, all of them. But yeah, so the way that you came up, you kind of popped in on Megan's post. That's how you got asked right away because we haven't seen you.
Oh God,
yeah. So that's how you got asked right away. We hit Michael up when we were at the birthday party. That's when we hit Megan up, and then. Angela, I think, ignored us the entire time we were there because we knew we were.
She's such a
dick.
dick.
We knew we were gonna have. Tony wasn't there that night because we just had Tony on. But one way or the other, we'll get around to it. But yeah, just mess with Danny's brain. Just tell him the fuck. Don't even listen to it, man, because they said they didn't want to have you on. You don't want. You're gonna get your feelings hurt.
Right.
Oh, he's so funny.
But no, definitely. Well, we want to get all you. I mean, seriously, it's we talk about Cleveland and the whole group of you guys. So we got plenty of. We're not. I don't think Mike. We're not planning on like stopping this anytime soon, right?
Well, I mean, for tonight we're going to stop it.
Right,
but,
for tonight. For tonight.
No, I think this is super cool what you guys are doing. I love the fact that like you still do it every Friday night, right? I think I heard in one of like your episodes like about the pizza thing on Friday nights or something. Like, and this is it for you guys. Like, this is your pizza together now. Right. That's awesome.
Well, Bill, did you have pizza tonight?
I did.
You know what? So did I.
Nice.
You guys are fucking fantastic.
Yep, had pizza tonight. Awesome. I made my bed this morning. And I'm fucking spiteful.
Yep, me too.
Listen, I don't do mine in the morning because there's always someone in there. So I'm like, fuck it. I make it before I get into it at night. Right? Like I have to do it before.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, cool. So have you ever heard the end of our podcast? Did you ever hear Mike's wrap up?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well.
Oh yes, I love it.
Well, you're
fantastic.
Yep, you're about to hear it. I mean, seriously though, Melissa, thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
That was great.
Now, your last challenge here, I think Megan's episode so far is like had 160 some plays. You got to beat her ass.
Oh shit.
You got to beat her ass, and I'm gonna pitch you guys up against each other because Tony's got both of you guys beat already. You don't want to get beat by a boy, do you?
Fuck that, Tony.
Okay, that's fine.
Me and Tony been going to war since we got sober.
All right, so Mike, it is your turn.
All right. Well, Melissa, thank you very much for being on our little show here. As always, everyone, be kind to each other, be good to each other, do something nice for somebody else, and it is that time for you to please fuck off. Then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off until you get to a gate with a sign on it saying you cannot fuck off past here. Climb over the gate, dream the impossible dream, and keep fucking off forever.
I heard you giggling, Melissa.
That's fantastic. I can't help it. It's fantastic. The beginning now too is awesome. I love it.
See, I laugh. I laugh every time because it. And if you ever heard, I've never heard the story behind it. So he was just starting off saying, couldn't figure out what to say. Like episode 4, he's like, all that comes to mind is fuck off. And then so he was doing that, for months. And then our Kathy, our sister, gave us that intro, and then Mike's been reading it ever since. It's been a couple of ones. The one time you tried to do it on memory without your glasses.
I did.
You fucked up,
it was
didn't you?
It was so fucking great. so fucking.
Of course, I try to do it on my own and see what the fuck happens.
Shocker! Look what happened.
No, it was
listen and do, boys.
Yeah, it was fucking wonderful. But no, we enjoyed it, and I can't say it enough. Thank you very, very much for being on, and fuck with Danny a little bit, but we'll have him on at some point. So,
Awesome.
All right, Mike, love you, Melissa. It was good having you, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Be good, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
As always, thank you for listening to another episode of Sober, Not Mature. To access all of our content and interact with us, please visit our website, SoberNotMature.com. Thank you again for listening, and we will talk to you soon.